The Royal Gold Medal is one of the most famous architectural medals, partly because of its longevity, but also because of its international import. It's been given to individuals, it's been given to organisations, it's even been given to a city. And what's important about the medal is it's given by Her Majesty the Queen, the current monarch, and it is recommended to her by the RIBA, by an honours committee. Then the honours committee chooses the recipient. Because when we looked at the nominations, he was the outstanding candidate. He is a builder, he is a thinker, he's a writer, he's an educator. He is everything. He's been long deserving of the award. I'm delighted that this year we were able to recognise the import of his work.
I began my career when I went to London, and then I went to RIBA library for the first time. So I was surprised with the library, the books, the documentation, and the kind of aura that RIBA institution had. I'm talking about 1951, before even I met Corbusier and Kahn. They are my gurus, Corbusier and Kahn. So if I have to do a building, and I have to do a building for myself, when I am on the drafting board, I am really in a temple, small temple. And when I am standing there with the tracing paper, and then I am thinking about them, you remember them, how they draw, how they conceived, and how they realized. And I believe that unless you become like them, or you get into that spirit, the pencil won't work.
His spaces are so captivating. The journey that one takes through the spaces is something that will stay with you. It touches you. Architecture that touches people, creates a dialogue with people, will stay with you forever. And that's not so easy to create.
It's not like a pompous architecture at all. He is not like those other people doing steel glass towers, you know. There's a lot of focus on transition spaces between the inside and outside, and you find this kind of spaces I really enjoy in Doshi's architecture, the walkways, the covered walkways, the bridges.
Doshi has very much worked with the ground and the place, bringing nature into his architecture.
He was doing net zero before we even knew what that meant. He has sort of reached that stage where he's really proven through the sort of 100-odd buildings that he's made, the thesis of this ability to make this translation.
Light and the presence of light and shadow as two very important elements are always present in his architecture.
How important is eyes in your life? Eyes are the ones which give you light and gives you life. So light is not something which is just like that. It is something which is most subtle, precious, and unimaginable.
I really like those very early projects. The contemporary expression, even though he is connected deeply to our roots.
The range of his work, it's not just working for the rich or working for the corporations or even just in culture. He's worked across the entire spectrum. His own studio is like a little university. It's a series of these barrel-vaulted forms that create a kind of campus. It's like an oasis that people really relish.
Because I work there and I decided it which has no definite form. So when you go there, you don't know where that building is. So it doesn't look like a box. And then there is a garden, then there are steps, and there are other places. So actually everybody who comes, it's a journey. This is meant for architects, students, professionals. But where is the architecture there? So architecture is in life. Architecture is in living lifestyle and creating variations so that you can create places and spaces for you. And that is really architecture.
His legacy is not only about the projects he built. It has to do with a school he initiated.
The architecture school is a fantastic laboratory. It's an incredible space that shows, it sort of is a kind of atelier, the debating space of architecture and a series of studios.
There wasn't a school like this in India before, so it really set the benchmark for a lot of architectural institutions that came after.
All the projects that I have seen of his is about human life and human dignity, about the future generation. It's about giving a better life to people.
You see, when you do housing for people, your first priority is people. So when they told me at the LIC, I said, look, I don't want to create a classification that this is middle income, this is high income, this is low income. But I would really like to create something by which those groups go away and you create a new social structure. So I said, I'm going to give 400 square feet, 700 square feet, 1,000 square feet apartments. So why don't I do the other way around? 1,000 below, 700 above, 400 on top. And then I created a staircase so that the poorest of the poor goes up, but he meets the richest person. And that is what happened. It was actually an experiment in creating social cohesion.
If you've had the opportunity to be in the presence of Doshi, he sort of has this incredible youthfulness because he engages with you with the same eagerness.
He has got the curiosity that even many young adults lose.
His ideas, his philosophies, that's something that no matter what will be passed on through generations.
For me, life is not to be bought or measured. Life is to be lived. Life is to be celebrated. And that is why I always call architecture is to celebrating life.
I was part of the honors jury that selected Balkrishna Doshi for the Royal Gold Medal for 2022. It's just amazing to be able to celebrate him, and it's amazing that the RIBA is able to give him the gold medal to celebrate what an extraordinary life and a contribution to this profession.
To be recognized by the Royal Institute of British Architects, after such a long time, with such a great history. One feels humbled, one feels proud but happy.
Normally, Mr. Doshi would have come to London, but as he's in the venerable age of 90 plus, and we're in the post-COVID world, it seemed entirely appropriate that I come here. And now I'm on the way to his house to celebrate his career and give him the gold medal.